keep an eye on each test case once after I click on this run button. So here you can see one after another it ran, and this also it went step by step. Then I will change it to run parallelly. Now again keep an eye here. So if I ran again, okay, now you can see at once all 4 tests were executed. Hello my dear friends and welcome back to QV Bro, your favorite YouTube channel. So this week also I am back with another video. So from this week we are going to look at another smart bear product called SoapUI. Previous weeks also we were looking at the smart bear products, the Swagger. There we saw the open source and the paid version, the Swagger Pro or the API Hub. Similarly, from today onwards we can look at the SoapUI. SoapUI is also another tool which you can use for your API testing purposes. In SoapUI also we have both the open source and the API, the paid version. Today I think there's something wrong. Still the website is not fully loading, but no problem. So here we have like the Ready API and the open source part. Previously the Ready API was known as the SoapUI Pro and the SoapUI open source. Now the SoapUI Pro has been renamed as Ready API. As you know, like on the Swag also they were going through different rebranding, renaming. Similar thing has been done on the SoapUI as well. So if you check on the resources, the difference between the Ready API and the open source support only the REST and SOAP, but Ready API will support GraphQL, Kafka, and gRPC as well. Other than that, there are some other differences as well, or you can find it through on this website. So yeah, for today I will go with the open source because open source part is enough for our day-to-day tasks. If you need the other the options and the services, then you can go with the Ready API, which is a paid version, and a free few days. I think a free 30-day trial is also available, so you can first give try on the 30-day free trial, and then you can decide on buying or purchasing the license. So from here you can download SOAP UI open source. Yeah, let's give a couple of seconds for the download, and then I will install, and then I will start the recording. Okay, the download is completed now. So you will see the exe file here. So now let's go and install it. The installation procedure is very easy, like as all the other applications. You can go through this installation guide and then you can decide what you need to install. And yeah, these things I don't think I need to explain. So I will run the SoapUI now. I will skip this and then so this is the SoapUI view, and here we get the welcome page. I will close that as well. So currently we have the SoapUI 5.8.0 version, the latest, and so this is the UI. The UI is like not very user friendly. It gives like early like 2000s kind of window. It's very kind of a old view is there because like if you were using SoapUI and if you haven't use it for let's say last 5 or 6 years and then come again to SoapUI, then you will you will see no difference. It's like the same. There were not much of changes has been happened on SoapUI for in the recent years. There's nothing much, like only this Endpoint Explorer part is the new. So like I compare it with like 5.4.0 version which was there around like 5 6 years ago, and then now in 2025 also still we have 5.8.0 version. So the only main difference I saw is the Endpoint Explorer and the UI. Other than that, everything was same within these 5 years. So yeah, it didn't go through much of the changes, but maybe like it already had all the features needed for the testing purposes. Maybe that. Other than that, there are nothing much has changed here. Okay, so on this SoapUI, you can see the first at the top we have the menu. all these things currently disabled because we haven't created a project. Where once we create the project, these things get enabled. Yeah, so here in this panel we can create these projects, test suites and everything. So the top level is the project. Under the project we can create all these our API calls and everything, and inside the projects we can create our test suites as well. So project is the root element or the parent element. Under that we will have a child element called the test suites. Test suite is kind of organization purpose. So under the test suites we have the test cases. We can have multiple test cases as well. So then inside the test case, as you know, we will have the test steps. So that is how the hierarchy in the SoapUI, the top level projects, under that test suites, under that test cases, and the last item will be the test steps inside the test cases. Okay, so here also we have some shortcuts to some of the mostly used features, and yeah, on this left panel we have the navigator, and bottom we have the properties. So once you click on the project, so it will load the properties related to the project. Then if you have the test suite and those things, when you click on each, so it will load the properties for the selected item. So I will show that later. Then, so that is about the properties bar. And then at the bottom, you will see the logs. SoapUI log, HTTP log, JT log, area logs, WSRM logs, memory log. Likewise, you will see different logs. These logs will be useful for your testing purposes and also mainly debugging purposes. Mainly, we can use the SoapUI and the HTTP logs. And for your performance testing purposes, you can use the memory logs as well. Then we have the inspector, and then so at the top we have the search forum and for the online help. So if you go to the online help, it will take you to the SoapUI help page, and also here you will see the search forum. Here using the search bar also you can do the searching, and then it will take you to the forum. Here also you will see the option to go to the SoapUI forum. Here if you click, it will take you to the Smart Bear community. So this is the SoapUI help page. As you can see, all the pages are there. You can find any help you need from here, and also the community page. Smart Bear has a good community, active community. So for all their tools, you can get help from here. The community is there. You can ask questions, and also you also can participate and actively contribute to help other community members by providing your answers. So the same forum you can search from here as well. Instead of going to the page and searching the page, you can search here as well. Then if you search, it will take you to the particular search results on the community page. Okay, so likewise, all these options are available for your help and the forum. Okay, I think now it's time for us to create a project and see here. You will see options here as well. Here from clicking here, you can create empty project. If you are using a SOAP API, then here is the option for you to create a SOAP project. And if you are using REST APIs, then you can create a REST project here. Or else you can go to file, and then here also you will see the same three options: empty project, SOAP project, and the REST project. So I will first create a SOAP project. You can import a WSDL file, or else you can give the link or the URL to the WSDL file as well. So I will use this sample WSDL file. This is also from the Smart Bear. So they have created a calculator API, and the WSDL file is uploaded here. So we can use this sample WSDL file for our testing purposes. So for this initial WSDL, I will give the URL, and you can see it automatically take the name and give a project name as it. And then here there are some optional options. So to create sample requests, so here if you check, it have add response, then subtract, multiply, divide. Likewise, there are different API calls as well. So here if you enable this, it will automatically create all these endpoints for you. All these requests will be created. It will be easy. And again, if you need, you can create the test suite as well. I will unselect it. Likewise, there are different options. So I will click the OK button. Now you can see it loads the definition, the WSDL, and it will create. Here you can see, yeah, there was two parts called the calculator soap and calculator soap 12, and under each it had 4 API calls. All these things were created now. And then here, if you check on the SoapUI logs, you will see all these logs are there. Okay, so here if you check, yeah, so here it says finding the importer and then adding the or importing the APIs, and then yeah, likewise you can see all the information under the SOAP UI logs. And then here under the HTTP log, you can see the same WSDL file is loaded because it sent a call to that endpoint and it loaded the WSDL file. So that log is also there. Then if you check jetty logs, error logs, the other logs are currently empty. And the memory log, now you can see since we did some operations here, so the memory log, there are some changes on the memory log as well. So you can see all this information. And the use memory also, you can see the allocated memory and the use memory. Okay, so then, yeah, so here now if I click on the project, now you can see here the properties. For the project selected, we have only the name, file. You can give description, project root, those information as well. Then if I click on this calculator, now you can see some custom, some project properties, extra project properties are there. Okay, name, description, file. Other than that, cache definition you can change here, and the script language, because in SoapUI, when you create these test steps and everything, you can update and play with groovy scripts as well. So I will show that later, and some other configurations are also there. And also, if you need to create your own custom properties, you can create your custom properties here, and then using the groovy scripts also you can access those properties, and then you can use those in your the test cases. Then if I go to the this calculator, so for the interface, and here you can see some information, the definition URL, WSDA, and then the binding information. So version, likewise there are extra properties are there. Then if we go to this the particular API call, and here you will see some other information related to that. Likewise, based on your selection, the properties will change here. So that's how the properties bar will work. Okay, so now let's try to send the API call. So yeah, so add request. If I double click on here, now you can see it will load the SOAP definition here. And then here you will see the question mark. This is where you need to update with your data. So since this is add operation, I will give two integers 10 and 23. So yeah, then it should return the response as 33. So here using this option you can submit the request, and also if you need to put any authorization parameters, header parameters, any attachments, those also you can do it here. So this is normal, like on the Postman also, like the same way you can create your the API request and response you can see here, and also row view and the XML view, that also you can see here. And then I will send the request. Okay, now you can see on the other hand side the response is loaded, and that also row view and XML view both available. So now you can see it return the response as 33. And also if you go to the row view, here you can see all the header parameters, and then the body with the value 23 is 33 loaded. And then again here some, yeah, those things are disabled now. It's SL and WSS as it's empty. Yeah, so likewise you can play with your requests and you can see the response as well. Okay, now it's likewise you can see all the other endpoints as well. So now it's time to create the test suite. For creating the test suite also, either you can go to the project and then you will see the option called new test suite. You can add the test suite using that option, or else here you can select and right click, and then there also you will see the option to create add the new test suite. Let's say if I add the test suite at this level, I mean like if you create this folder, if you click the folder and go and here add the test suite, then it will create test suite for both these interfaces. but let's say you need the test suite only for one interface. So in that case, you can right click on this particular interface and then you can go to generate test suite. Then it will create the test suite only for these particular 4 endpoints only. It won't add test suite for this second interface. Okay, I will add only for this interface. I'll right click and then go and click on the generate test suite option, and then here it will show you, and there are two options this time, one test case for each operation. So that means like here we have 4 operations. So if we go with this option, it will create 4 separate test cases, one for each. But if you go with the second option, single test case with one request for each operation. So this means like if we go with this option, it will add only one test case. But inside that same test case, there will be 4 test steps for each of these 4 operations. Like, okay, I will show both options. So I will go with the first one, and then request content I will put here, create new empty request, and here also you can select which operations you need to add to the test suite. I will select all and click the OK. And you can give a name as well. And now you can see it added the test suite. And then if you go inside here, now you can see it added 4 test cases, one for each of these operations. Okay, now I will show you the second option as well here. Instead of one test case for each operation, now let's go with single test case with one request for each operation. And then I will give this as test suite 2. And now you can see here the next test suite also created. If you check here, now you will see only one test case. Here we had 4 test cases, one test case for each of these operations. But now here we have only one test case. If you go inside the test case, you will see 4 test steps. So same for operations, now we have as steps, but here we have one test case, one step. Like for each operation, one test case. Here a step. So that's the difference. Okay, so now you can see that hierarchy. First, high level we have the project, then we have the interface. So if you forget about the interface, we have the project, then we have the test suite, then we have the test case, and then finally we have the test steps. Okay. So then I will go inside this test case here. Yeah, this is, as I mentioned, the UI is not very user friendly. Kind of a very old UX experience you will get here, like using very early type, like early 2000s of a software. However, like let's go inside the test steps here. The add operation here, again you will see the same, and then you can send the request again as I showed you. So here it doesn't have any test data, so now you can put some test data for your test case and save it, and then if I send the request it will send 20. But now again it will mark here as passed, but the problem is like we don't have any assertions. So now it's time for you to add some assertions to your test cases. I will close the logs, and here you will see assertions 0. So by clicking it here, you can add the assertions for your test case, and then here you will see the plus icon to add these assertions. If you click there, then you can see there are different options. So if you want to check the content here, property content, you can check for the exact value. So since in my case the response is 4 plus 16 is 20. Yeah, so either I can check for the property contains value exact 20. I can add 20, and I can, if need, I can ask it to check for the regex. I want the exact match, so I will add it as okay. So once the assertion is added, at the same time it will check with the response and it will mark it as passed. Here now you can see here also it marked in the green color. Previously we had the gray color here, but now since the assertion passed, it marked as green here. So let me show a failing one. Since if I add 21, it should fail. And now you can see it change it to red color everywhere. So likewise, you can play with your assertions as well. Other than that, you can add other assertions as well. So yeah, property content. If you want to check for the JSON path count, JSON path match, not containing XPath, XQuery, then if you go to the status, you can check for the status code, schema, SOAP fold, response. Likewise, there are different options. And also you can create a custom script as well using the Groovy, then JMS, then security, on the response, like those things also you can add. Oh, so I will keep only this particular assertion for this test case. And then let's go to the second test case, second step, and this, okay, this is divide operation. So I will give like 50 divided by 5. So it should be 10. Yes, 10. So I will add a assertion for this as well. Let's contains 10. Okay, I think this is enough. We have now like 2 assertions. And then yeah, next I will show you the other option like here inside the test step. So inside one test case we have multiple test steps. Again it's same. So here since we have that, then add and divide, I will go with multiply this time. So let's say 2 into 3 and send the request. And then you can see the answer is 6. So I will add the assertion to check contains 6. Okay, now we have like 5. Sorry. Okay, now we have like 3 assertions. I think that's enough. So now next it's about how to run this. There are different places where you can run. One you already saw. You can go to the step, and at the step level you can run the test. And then you will see pass fail status. And also here the assertion, you can see assertion passed, and then you can see the response time, and also you can see some request response logs as well here as well. Other than that, from the bottom also you can see the other logs here, other HTTP logs, SoapUI log, and everything. Okay, so that is one place to run from the test step level. But here the problem is like for each step you need to run separately. Instead of that, you can run the step. You can double click on the step, and then the whole step, now you can see inside the step it have 4 steps. You can run this whole step. Okay, now you can see one by one it ran, and the all the test case log and all the information again you can see for this as well. Okay, so that is another place, test case. But again, problem, if you have multiple test cases inside your test suite, then again you have to go and run one by one. For that, you can go to the test suite level. Inside the suite, you can see again the option. So here you will see the 4 test cases, and then you can run. You can see it's running, not it's running sequentially one after the another, and then it passed, and then you can see it marked the status as well. Then how you can change it to run parallel? So this is the option. Here it's selected to run in sequence, and then the next option to run in parallel. So currently it's selected run in sequence, so that means like one after another. You can see it clearly here. Okay, I will disable the logs, and let me, yeah, it's okay. So now you can see all the 4 steps. If keep an eye on each test case once after I click on this run button. So here you can see one after another it ran, and this also it went step by step. Then I will change it to run parallelly. Now again keep an eye here. Okay, now you can see like at once these 3 test cases ran. So it's like depend on the threads. So if I ran again, okay, now you can see at once all 4 tests were executed. So when you have high number of test cases, yeah, you can go with parallelly to save your time. So that's how you can change to run your test cases in sequence or in parallel. Okay. So now we know how to create the project, how to create the test suites, and how to create or update the test steps, and then how to run these things in parallelly and sequentially as well. And then yeah, now you know how to check all these logs for your debugging purposes. Okay, next I will show you how to add a REST as well. Okay, so then I will create a new project, a REST. This time I will go with new REST project. Same, like you can add the URI for endpoint. So I will use the same REST API which we were using all this time. So yeah, list objects by ID. I will go with this option, this particular endpoint. Okay, I will take this and I can put the endpoint here. Or else you can import WADA, and I will click the OK. Now you can see create a REST project for me, and it added the request as well. Okay, I will open this. Again, you can see the same form view. You can change the HTTP method. Since our case is get, then the URL part is there, the endpoint, and then the resource and the parameters. So those things are there, and you can see it added this parameter as here. So you can, for let's say this one also, if I want to add this as a parameter, I can go here. I need to give a name. For here I will, let's say I will call it as path, and I can give the value here object, and then since this is a path parameter, you need to go with the template option here, and then level resource, and here now you can remove these objects. Okay, now you can see it added the parameter called path, and then same way here query parameters was also added as a parameter. So likewise, yeah, let's say if you need this one also, you can take it here and create a parameter and parameterize it. So likewise, you can parameterize everything. Okay, so then I will send the request, and now you can see the response here. Response also you can see with different options: XML, JSON, HTML, raw, and then the headers you can see attachments, SL info. Likewise, okay. So I will go to the JSON view, and then again for this also, now if you need, you can add these assertions after creating the test suite. Okay. So now my request is okay. So I will go and create the test suite for this. One test case option I will go, and one path we have. Click OK, and yeah. So now you can see it creates the test suite. Yeah, you can rename it to have a proper name, and then my test step is here. So if I run it, okay, and then I can add assertion, all these things, XPath. Then for the compliance, HTTP status code, yeah, I will add this one. Status code should be 200. So, and I will add okay. So yeah, and then I will add another one for the contains. Let's see, like that. I will add this option. I will take it from the browser here. Okay, so this, let's say, okay, it's sending a different value this time. Apple iPad mini 5G. Okay, I will update it. Yeah, now you can see that also, and then again now you know how to run these things from the test suite level as well, and then you can see the information. Then there are some other information as well. Now if you go to the project level again here, you come to the project level, now you can see again some summary of the project, interface summary, and then number of test cases, number of assertions. Then you can create the mocks as well. So next week we can see how to create the mocks and those information. And then you can see the test suite information, security configuration, those information as well. So same, let's check on the SOAP one. Yeah. So again, you can see test summary, 2 test suites, 5 test cases, 8 steps, 3 assertions, all this information again. And from here also you can run the test suite and see all getting passed. Likewise, you can play with all these things. The same option is available at different places. So yeah, so you can try out those things. Then if you need to import existing project, so here's the option. You can go with import option. Then yeah, you can save this and export as well, and then again import for someone. So for room we saw, and then from here you can register for the ready API, the pro version, and then the preferences you can change it here. The HTTP settings and the other all information are available. Proxy if you need to configure, SSL, WSDL, likewise all these configurations you can change it from the preferences level, and from here also you can enable, disable the proxy. So if you create the proxy here, give hostport, username, password information, and then you can enable and disable the proxy easily from here. And then Endpoint Explorer is there. Again, this will give you this form. So simply you can check all these request responses. Yeah, let's see the option as well. So you can change the method to get, then I added the path, and then I can send. Then you can see the response. Then yeah, the authentication if need, you can edit. And if you need, you can save the request here as a new request, and then you can select the project. So inside this project, a new request will be saved. So you can do that way as well to create new requests. Okay, then yeah, then other options again the create options, import. You can import the Postman collection as well. you can share the Postman collection URL or the file. Then the Postman collection will also be added to the SoapUI. Then you can rename these workspaces. Those options are there. Yeah, so then the project suite, so the same things which we did, and the test case, test step, those things are there, and some tools are there. We can see these things next week. Yeah, so I think that's it for today. So today we saw how you can create the project, then how to export, how to import your WSDLs and the REST endpoints, and then how to create the test suites, test cases, and the test steps, and then how to run those things, then how to debug using the logs, and how to add the assertions. All these things we saw today. So I think that's enough for today. So next week we can see some other extra features available with SoapUI. So stay tuned till next week, and please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and also share this with your friends as well. See you till next week, and happy testing.